Alright, so what we're going to look at today is how to create your Twin Talk video, how to create multiple versions of yourself in a single frame, and even how to interact between those items, how to move something from one video to the next. Now in this video we're about to look at, I want you to look at the extreme wide screen that they have. The camera's set very far back to allow for all this extra motion to be happening in this film. But for the most part, this is a fairly simple trick, and we've played with all the effects that we're going to see here. This is a basic masking. You know how to do a mask, but this is a little bit more advanced because we're going to have to move that mask around in order to make it look accurate, okay? So let's go look at what we are looking to create. First, we have three separate videos here. Let me zoom right. We have three separate videos. We have one guy walking in with his bag of Doritos, all excited, and he puts it on the floor. Okay. As he turns around, this guy is supposed to grab that bag of Doritos and set it away. And in the third video, we have a guy coming in and stealing that last bit of Doritos. Now, all of these are lined up, and we just need to create the masks for them. So if we look here at the final product, we'll see that this guy was sitting here the whole time, walks over, he drops this bag of Doritos as this guy's eyeballing him. And then he grabs those Doritos, sets them aside, and then here comes the last twin out of the way. Now, notice how artfully they keep everybody separated when they film. One, the camera's set way back, but these different elements are also keeping fairly far away from each other, right? The closest interaction you see is the feet right here. For the most part, these stay very separated from each other. You can almost see that line. And in fact, when my mask moves here, you can see that shadow of that mask moving a little bit. Okay, so we're going to look at how to artfully kind of move around these items. It is going to be a little intensive sometimes because dealing with masks in general is. So what I'm going to need you to do is, of course, import the videos, open them in a project. And then I'm going to need you to stack these videos. I need Thieving Clone 1 on top, 2 in the middle, and 3 on the bottom. So that they look like this, okay? Now, the first one's going to show up as the main clip here because that's all you're going to be able to see. If you hit the eyeballs on clip 1, you can see 2. Eyeball on both of those, you can see clip 3 with the guy coming in from the side. So what we want to do is we want to create masks on each one of these that allows us to see through and to the next video. So all three videos need to be playing in separate parts of the film the entire time. So we're going to start with this guy, okay? We need to be able to see exactly how much we need of him. So I'm going to stop when he puts those Doritos down right there, okay? You're going to have to kind of eyeball where this is. I just want to be able to see the Doritos on the ground and notice the shadows that we're seeing here because that's where this is going to look fake if we start going over those shadows in weird ways. Alright, so I'm going to get my selection tool and I'm going to select the top layer. So this is Thieving Clone 1. I'm going to have my effect controls panel open and I'm going to toggle down opacity because we're going to be playing with masks here. And all of our masks are underneath opacity. I'm going to get my pen tool here, and when I click it, notice it says mask 1. If you click multiple times, you're going to have multiple masks. Don't do that. Click on the mask and delete it if you do. Now remember, to be able to see your mask, you have to have your mask selected right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to make some kind of big pulls for this to start with. I'm going to start down here underneath the Doritos as close to the edge of the frame as I can. Going all around the outside of this film as close as I can to the border. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to stop about midway through. Now, when I create this next part, I'm going to kind of do a few extra clicks here because I know I'm going to need to move this. And I know I'm going to need keyframes in order to do it. Now, when I go through this and I click on the final anchor point, the original anchor point, it's going to close. And when it does, I should be able to see my second clone pop in. Now, with your pen tool still selected, you can click on these anchor points and you can kind of move them around as needed. So you can see right here, I'm kind of cutting off a bit of his shoe. I'll add another anchor point by clicking on a blank place in the line. and then I can click and move that anchor point as needed. Now, let's go back and look at what we just did. If I hit play here, with the mask not being an issue here, I can see that it moves pretty seamlessly. The guy places it down, I don't really see the mask come in. Now the trick here is going to be to edit this mask path. So at this point, when he's just laid down the Doritos, I'm going to click that toggle animation on mask path. That's going to start me setting it up. But you're going to notice your mask disappears when you click on that. You need to click back on the actual word mask in order to be able to see it. Now I'm going to use my K and L buttons. So I'm going to hold K down and tap L on my keyboard. And as I do, I'm going to kind of slowly move this mask around a little bit. And in fact, while I'm looking at it, I'm going to increase the feather to 20 so that there's a little bit of a fading between the videos. Now, each time I move one of these clips, what's going to happen up here is it's going to create a new keyframe. This is a little bit of a longer clip, so you may not see it, but if you zoom in, you can see multiple clips happening here, so multiple keyframes happening. So again, I'm going to hold K and tap L, and as I do, I'm going to kind of slowly move some of these anchor points over. The hardest part of this really is keeping that shadow as best you can. Okay, we're going to need to overlap this Dorito bag because in his clip it should be in the same place. So how would you create this yourself? You would put that Dorito bag down as this guy on the left. You would act out the entire remainder of the video, and then you'd come back and do the second guy. So the first one filmed was him. The second one was this guy. And they just left the Dorito bag sitting right where it is. Now this is not going to be perfect because that shadow creates an issue. If you want to get really technical, you can zoom in and keep it right on that line of that Dorito bag, but I'm not that concerned. Alright, so that's my first edit. And as I hit play and look, if you look carefully after he lays the Dorito bag down, you'll probably see that mask moving just a little bit. You want to make sure that this guy on the right doesn't accidentally go over this at any point. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And you can kind of see that mask move around where he's going. Okay? Bam. Alright, so let's select, once he places that Dorito bag on the table there, or on the arm, let's select the second clip right here, Thieving Clones 2. And this is where you're going to need to come back in with your pen tool. And this time, we're going to have to draw another mask around this guy. So I'm going to keep a couple of keyframes here because I know I'm going to need a few different keyframes, especially around this shoe. So give yourself a little bit of leeway by creating extra keyframes. Be careful not to rotate it like I just did. If you do, Command Z will allow you to go back. And I'm going to stop at the bottom and then go back all the way around the entire video like this. Now because this camera was shot in one place, all of the backgrounds are the same for all of the clones. Nothing's moving in the background, so I'm not so worried about leaving little bits untouched on the outside because it's just going to show through from the bottom clip. Now when I clicked on that, you might have noticed a little bit of a darkening over here. When you have multiple things coming in, you've got shadows moving and it affects the light on the walls, and that creates a problem. If you look at the wall right here, if I move this curtain around, you see it changes in lightness. That creates a problem if you're doing something like this, so just be careful. Now I'm going to hit play and I'm going to kind of look at this. You can see already that there's a problem with this guy's shadow right here. So I'm going to make sure that I can see that shadow so it's not so easily cut off. Now, right here, we notice his foot gets cut off and his hand. So we need to stop a little bit before he crosses that line. Okay, right there. And I need to come in, and in fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for this one. Getting my hand tool and kind of moving around a little bit. And then going back to my pen tool. Might even need to add a few extra anchor points just to make sure this is nice and smooth. A little touch, a little cutout on something like this, most people won't notice. But you want to be careful with these things because it can become quickly very noticeable. So I'm going to move this mask around like this, adding new keyframes along the way, new anchor points to allow for that shadow. And I'm going to kind of eyeball where this guy's foot goes. Alright, so that looks pretty good because he's going to be hidden by that shoe a little bit anyway because they do interact. Alright, so let's go up here. I'm going to back up so that I can see him starting to come in. Good Lord. So right here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to toggle my mask path again. Remember, again, you need to click back on the mask after you toggle it. I'm going to hold K and L, kind of tap it through. And as he's coming in, I want to be able to see right there. His hand's about to cross that line. So I'm going to go ahead and move this mask over so that he's not blocking. And I'll zoom in just a little bit here so that I can see the entirety of that Doritos bag from his clip, and he'll be able to grab it from here. Bam, and walk off. So let's go back to fit. Let's go back and look at the entire film. Let's see if this all works, and I'll get rid of that mask there. So he comes in, keep an eye on those shadows at the feet. You may see some issues popping up there with those masks. So as it comes in, you see a little bit of a deviation there. Moving over to this, watch the feet on this guy on the right. Looks good. Hands move good. Everything's nice and simple. Now the trick to this really is getting to understand that pen tool and getting to understand how to move these anchor points using your different keyframes. So at different points in time, you're going to have anchor points in different places for those masks. So let me zoom back in. You can see my two keyframes here for this mask. When I move slowly over, you can see between these points, that line is moving with you. So it's not like it just starts here and ends there. It has a progression from start to end. So go through this, try to mask this as cleanly as you can. This may take a little bit of time. If you make a mistake and your mask is a whole scale disaster, click on the word mask right here, hit delete, try it again, okay? What I want to see out of this project is an MP4 that shows all of this moving correctly. I want to be able to see that Dorito bag go from one guy's hands directly to the next. I want to see that shadow move. I want to see this mask move. Okay, it should be obvious if everything's moving smoothly through here. If your guy's moving into this and his hand just disappears and all of a sudden he shows up with a Dorito bag, chances are you didn't hit that mask path, toggled animation, you didn't start your keyframes. So make sure you come through, start your keyframes, toggle your animation, and move that mask as he needs to move. Okay? Be artful with it, see what you can do with this.